Hi friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. We have a seed saving tutorial for you today. This is a skill that I am really trying to master. This is only my third year of saving seeds for my garden, but with rising food costs and supply chain issues, I feel like it's an important skill for me to learn. But even beyond that, when you save seeds from your own garden that has grown in your soil, it is developing familiarity with that soil. It is developing resistance against items that your soil conditions and your climate conditions present to that seed. And over time, year after year of saving seeds from your garden, the quality is going to be unmatched from anything that you can get from the store because it is like personalized to your growing conditions. So that's the main reason for saving seeds. But this video is going to apply to anything like beans or peas. Anything where the seed basically is the fruit, like beans. So these are rattlesnake pole beans. This is one of our favorite green beans to grow. And when it comes to beans and peas, what you want to do is at the end of the season, after you've already harvested and whatever you want to harvest, you want to leave some on the vine to dry on the vine. You want them to turn completely brownish, yellowish color and where it's just crunchy, dry, and you want the seeds to plump up. So right now, the seeds don't look super thick. The pods don't look super thick. But when they were still green and on the vine, they were bulging big time. But as the seeds have dried out, they have shrunk, and so now you don't see that big bulging bean. But when you are still growing the beans and they're still on the vine, usually you want to pick the green bean before those seeds get big and bulgy for canning. But when you're seed saving, you want the opposite. You want those seeds to get as big as possible. And bulge out like that. But the sign that they're done is just when they turn brown, when they turn yellowish, and you can break them in half and they're crunchy like that. So at this point, you can go in, let me get a good example here. And it's just a matter of breaking open the seed pod and pulling out your seeds. Oops, about to drop them. A lot of times they're going to have these little coverings on them, and you can just rub them in your hands, lightly blow off, and that chaff will just blow away and you're left with some seeds. Now these are really small seeds. I only want to keep the biggest and best because you're trying to improve your plant over time, so you only want to keep the biggest and best from the previous harvest to use as seeds for next year's harvest. Now at this point, they feel pretty dry, they look dry, there it goes. And I would, to the naked eye, these seem sufficiently dry, but dryness is absolutely key for letting your seeds store properly. So what I do is I put my seeds on a paper plate and I set them on top of my dehydrator. And then throughout the fall season, I just will plan a couple of dehydrating projects, and that paper plate of seeds will be sitting on top of my dehydrator where it gets a little bit warm, and I'll cover the plate with just like a little piece of paper towel just so a bunch of debris isn't constantly falling on them, and I will just let them dry out there over the season. Now, if you let your beans dry on the vine for a really long time, they may very well be sufficiently dry where you can just take them out of the pods and put them in seed storage. But this is just an extra step I take to be absolutely certain because moisture will cause mold and it will ruin the seed. Once I'm confident that the seeds are good and dry, I store them in old prescription bottles. I will collect these throughout the year, and this is how I store my personal seeds that I have saved from my garden. Now for seeds that I purchase, I have a separate organization system for those seeds, and we've already done a video on that, and I will link that above if you're interested. It's our absolutely favorite way to keep seeds organized and safe from year to year. But for seed saving, I always just use these little prescription bottles and I write the year. These are cantaloupe from 2022, and that is just a great way to store them that I have found. Something that is free and I can repurpose for something useful. Okay, y'all, I hope that was helpful to y'all. I hope y'all get into seed saving if you can. It is one of the ways that we can start to get into a sustainable garden. Okay, y'all, see you next time.